special guest, Miss Tammy Durden. Did I pronounce that correct?
Yes, you did.
All right, lady. You're going to have to be my co-pilot today because my hostess with the mostest over here. He's not here. You didn't get a chance to meet Miles, but it's okay.
Let's do it.
It's okay. We're going to be able to do it, and we're going to keep this thing running, okay?
All right.
Everybody, she is a pastor. She is an author. From what I can tell so far, a phenomenal woman out there trying to make it just like the rest of us everyday Joes. And she has a very, very important message, okay? So I'm gonna let her tell us about the message that she is trying to get across to people here in the Houston area and why she feels like it is so important in this day and time to get that message across. Tell us a little bit about your movement you've got going on.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. First of all, Tennille, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah.
So the movement is the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win movement. It all started back with my book. I am an author, as you said. And so I wrote the book about 5 years ago, Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win. And it was birthed out of my personal experience of setbacks and things that happened in my life and that occurred. And so I wrote the book to help empower other people to overcome setbacks and win in life, to let them know that just because you've fallen and no matter how far you've fallen, it's not over until you win, and you can always get up, dust yourself off, and win. And so I launched the book. The same weekend was the first year of our annual Get Up, Dust Yourself Off, and Win conference.
Okay.
And so we're 5 years in now. This is the 5th year of the conference.
Hey, a lot of times people don't have longevity and stuff because they don't get up and win.
Exactly.
They try something. If it doesn't go the way they planned, they just say, forget it. You definitely can't do that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first lesson for today. When it doesn't go your way, you have to try to make it better, because those people that did support you, those people who helped you get through there or donated their money to whatever your cause was, they're looking for you to make a positive change with that. So if you don't grow and you don't go anywhere, now you just lost the people you had as well.
Exactly.
So, all right, keep telling us about this movement.
So the movement continues. So we Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win. We've been very blessed and fortunate. Year 2, we were hosted in Cape Town, South Africa, to have the conference there, over 500 women. So we are a global empowerment women's organization, Tammy Durden Ministries International. And again, one of the biggest things that we do every year is the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win Women's Empowerment Conference. Now, I'm so excited about it this year. Every year, God gives me something different for it. But this year, we're going to have the worthiness experience.
Okay.
And the worthiness experience, we're going to be talking about your worthiness in relationships, in dating, in marriage, in your singleness, in business. When we do have setbacks and life happens, we tend to lose our self-confidence, our self-esteem. We begin to doubt and live in fear. But this year, we're going to talk about you're worthy. You're worthy to have a great relationship. Myself, I've been married twice and divorced twice. Okay. And so oftentimes when that happens, you begin to think that you're not worthy of being married again.
You say, it must be me.
It must be me. There's nobody else left. We start doubting when someone good does come along.
Horror stories, girl. I'm definitely there with you. I was telling you, I told y'all about, my behind the scenes conversation, because, I love having a little behind the scenes where nobody can know really what's going on. But I'm one of those people who definitely probably needs a breakthrough in this, because I told you, I'm not having it. I'm good how I am. I don't need to open myself up to any more of that. But that is not a real existence per se.
Exactly.
You need to be worthy of all of that. And if it does go wrong, like I even just said a few minutes ago, you can't let it get you down, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't.
Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the book. We have talked a little bit about the worthiness experience. Cape Town is a huge place to start. Let's just say that, because it's out of the country. That's a lot. But let's talk about your life and some of the experiences that drove you to write the book.
Yes.
Tell me in some detail, because everybody never believes. Well, if she had all that going on, how did she have time to write a book?
Right.
There's always those naysayers. So tell us a little bit about some of the experiences that you had that other people can relate to.
Well, as I tell my story, at this point in my life, I was living the dream, right? living the dream. I was married at that time, married to a minister. I owned a mortgage company.
That definitely makes it a twist.
Okay, doesn't it? You haven't heard the real twist yet.
Yes.
Yes, and so I owned a mortgage company. Everything was well, living in a dream home, 3,700 square foot home on the lake, in a suburb outside of Houston. Just awesome. And, I had my daughter. She had her own suite upstairs. I could go out on the balcony and watch the ducks over the lake. And
she was living that green leaf life.
Yeah, the green. I was living the dream, and then life happened. Life happened, and so. In the midst of living the dream, my husband, the minister that I was married to, attempted to molest my daughter. Wow. The mortgage company that I owned back in 2007, you may remember that we had the mortgage industry crisis. The mortgage company that I owned went under, so had to close the business. And so now I have a failed business. I have a failed marriage. I have a broken daughter, right? And so now, in addition to that, because that mortgage company was my primary source of income, now I'm bankrupt. There's no money to pay the bills. The homes are going into foreclosure. Even the rental property that I own, the tenants stopped paying. So now the homes are going into foreclosure. One night I wake up and go to get a drink of water, look out the front door, and I see some red tail lights. Well, it was a record truck with the repo man coming to pick up my car.
Whoa.
And so I call this my tsunami of setbacks. All of these things are happening at one time. Yes. And so, Tennille, I hit rock bottom.
That's definitely sounds like rock bottom to me. I know a lot of y'all think that, your kid's daddy ain't coming through enough. Did you hear all of the things that were here? Even when she tried to open up her home to somebody, then you have, somebody who hurt your child. Like, for a mother, that is
we're very protective of our children.
Thing ever. And it's like, I brought this man around.
Yes.
So I know that definitely took a lot to get over. Then, once we get so high and mighty, everything's going so well, like she said.
Yeah.
And everything crashes, crash and burn. Why, Lord, did you do this to me? I'm just saying, And we, again, take it internally and we say, I must have done something wrong.
It's my fault.
Okay. So your tsunami has occurred.
Yeah, tsunami has occurred. And so now I'm going through a series of emotions. The blame game, as you just alluded to, blaming myself. It was my fault. Why didn't I protect her? And then I'm embarrassed. I mean, humiliated. So I'm a pastor's kid. I'm a PK, married to a preacher, been in church all my life. And so now this is happening to me. Everybody knows I'm humiliated. I'm embarrassed.
Yes.
Everybody that I thought was my friend, they were nowhere to be found. So the people that were out on the lake with me, the people that were coming over.
That's always how it happens. Right? They disappear all of a sudden. They ghost you.
Yeah. Nowhere to be found. And so now I'm broke and I'm broken.
Yes.
And at rock bottom, trying to heal and trying to help my daughter. And so all of these things happened, and I was at the end. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. There were nights where I would just cry myself to sleep in the dark. For one reason, because the lights were turned off because I couldn't afford to pay the light bill. So after I blow the candles out at night and I get in my bed, I close the door in the dark, cry myself to sleep because at that point, I couldn't see how I was going to make it through the next day.
There's no light at the end of the tunnel at this point. I can imagine that you just can't even see before your own face. Like, I can definitely imagine being at that point and saying, where do you go next? Because at this point, there is nothing. It's already so far behind. You don't know what to do. So you wake up the next morning, and what happens? How do we get past this hump?
So it's a process. So for a while, I woke up the next morning and I put on the mask. I pretended like everything was okay. You know how we do. We put on the mask. I put on my Superwoman cape, my Wonder Woman outfit, and I go out there to still pretend like I'm okay, but I'm not. I'm hurt. I'm broken. I'm wounded on the inside. And so because I was so far down, there was nowhere else to look but up. And so I just began to pray. I went back, again, born and raised in the church all my life. I began to pray and say, God, I know this is not the end for me. I know there has to be a better way for me. I know that I've got to come through this. Number one, for my daughter, because she's depending on me. I got to be there for her. So she's my motivation. And so through that process of just waking up, and I talk about that in the book, the awakening, just waking up, because I had been sleepwalking for so long, just sleepwalking and existing and just trying to make it to the next day. But when I finally woke up through prayer, and also, just getting the help that we need, getting that counseling, getting that coaching, whether it's a life coach, a counselor, a therapist, or whatever it may be. Get the help that you need so that you can overcome these setbacks and ultimately win.
Because a lot of times people think, I'm paying you're paying all this money for all these other things. People talk about, going out and binge shopping when they're down and this, that, and the other. Pay for you some help.
Exactly.
That way you don't have to worry about, if you just go ahead, pay that professional to help you out, you wouldn't need to binge shop. You could save your money, put it towards something that's going to benefit you in the long run, get to the next step.
Yes.
And be uplifted, as you say. I told y'all today, you were going to get uplifted. You were going to hear something that pushes you on to the next level. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the story right now of Tammy Durden and how she pulled up her bootstraps and got on to the next level. Okay? So now we've done all this. We've had all these sad things happen. We've tried to help ourselves through prayer. And let me say this. Don't let the fact that we're talking about, prayer and, trying to go to God for whatever. This is everybody's situation.
Yes.
You may not believe, but it's still about you, okay? Because we've all been there. We've all felt like we were at the bottom, you know?
Exactly.
And had to get somewhere else. There was somebody you was talking to. And once you got there, you prayed about it. Tell us a little bit about as things started to reveal or as you came out of the darkness.
Yes, and so it was a journey. I can't tell you that it happened overnight, because it didn't. I can't tell you that it was easy, because it wasn't, because there was a whole healing process that had to take place. Part of it began with forgiveness, just being able to forgive myself, being able to forgive him, being able to forgive the friends that left me. All of that started the healing process for me. And it's so important that we heal, that we don't just sweep it under the rug, because we're good for that. Sweeping it under the rug, it never happened. But I always say, and as I say in the book, you got to face it to fix it. If you don't face it, you can't fix it. And so no matter how painful it was, no matter how ugly it was, I began to face it. I began to face my situation. He hurt me. He left. My daughter, all of this, I faced it. It wasn't easy. And so as I began the healing process, as I began to look at myself in the mirror and positively affirm myself, because when you've been beaten down by life, you don't think the best about yourself. Right. You don't think that you're good enough anymore. It was my fault. It was my bad. I did it. And so that's one of the things we're going to talk about at the conference is you feeling worthy again. Just because you made a mistake, just because you fell down, just because you messed up, it doesn't mean that you don't get another chance or you're not worthy of the best in life anymore. And so as I began that healing process of, again, from forgiveness to positively affirming myself, to getting the help that I need, once I began to take those steps in the right direction, then I was able to begin to live the best life that God had for me to live. I was able to overcome those things. And I'll tell you, I certainly don't look like what I've been through.
Amen. Amen, y'all. She is in here high-spirited. As you can see, there's a passion in her voice in regards to teaching you these lessons. So now, tell us a little bit about this event again.
Yes.
Give us the title again. Give us who's going to be speaking.
Let me give it to you, girl.
Because we need to know. We need to know who's going to be there.
Yes.
We need to know where we can pull these pieces from
exactly.
to put our lives back together. And I know y'all are out there listening. I'm just saying. Make sure if you even think you need this type of education,
yes,
come on out.
Yes,
come on out and tell us where it is, and all of this, why you chose these people. Like that's
Right.
a big thing for me.
Yeah.
People in their support teams or the people that they work with say a lot about, who they are. This is something that I'm learning every day because I'm like one of those people that's always feeling like, oh, well, I'm gonna help them because they like I love an underdog, like because I always felt like I was that person. But when you surround yourself with a certain group of people and you're always feeling inspired and pushed forward, it is so much better. Like, oh my goodness.
It makes a
so
huge
tell us
difference.
a little bit about the team members.
Okay.
And why you chose them.
Awesome. So I am super blessed to have some amazing team members that believe in the vision, that believe in me. And that's so important to have both of those. And what we do, very supportive, hardworking, dedicate their time, their talents, their treasures, sacrificing for the movement. Not just, and it's not about me, but it's about the movement that women all across the world are empowered. And so at the Get Up, Dust Yourself Off and Win Women's Empowerment Conference, actually where men are invited this year, we're inviting men because we're
that's another one of my questions. Like I have it down right here. I'm like, look, women are not the only people who need to
be empowered.
Have this message, okay? And you called it worthiness. There's tons of men who don't think they're worthy. That's why they're getting into these bad relationships.
Exactly.
Just like women. They need to be educated just like we do. Men, I know y'all think you got it all together. Okay? I know that you think that you have it all together. But just like women, and you may find somebody in there who's ready for their breakthrough. You never know.
It may be a divine connection.
Might be the day, okay? So gentlemen, please don't feel like you can't come. A lot of guys won't even watch sitcoms because they feel like those are soap operas as well. Get off of it, okay? Get off of it. Come on out. Enjoy yourself. All right, keep telling us. I'm not going to keep interrupting you like that.
You're excited. I'm
sorry.
excited. Yeah, it's awesome. But at the conference, again, we're inviting men because we're having the worthiness experience. So we're bridging the gap this year between men and women in dating, in relationships, in marriage. I know so many single men, so many single women out there and that are frustrated, can't find the right one, is not working out. We have some amazing relationship experts that are going to be at the conference. We're going to have breakout sessions. Bring your questions. Dr. D. Yvonne Young is going to be with us. Brennan Angel Rhodes, Dr. Scott Davenport, all relationship experts that are going to be providing us with some wisdom, some tips, some instruction on how to get this thing right. And so we're excited about that. It's going to be in Houston. If you want to grab tickets, go to getupandwin.com and grab your tickets. But it's going to be a life-changing experience. I'm so excited about it. We're going to have a live band, Tennille. We're going to have a live band.
I love some live music. I was just telling you about my Zydeco fetish,
Fetish.
That's definitely what it is. You like to go out there and it's so different when there's a live band in the house and you get to experience, like, I think this is something that our culture has lost. Like, people don't go out, support the live bands, people who are actually learning to play instruments and, knowing all of the things that entails and keeping their craft above water, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So live bands are awesome. I like the other artists as well, but live bands are super awesome. Okay, so keep on. Tell us some more.
And so it's going to be at Houston, at the Hilton Houston Hotel near the Galleria.
So in other words, if you are out of town, okay, and you want to come to
there
this,
you go.
If you want to come to this event, it's right at the hotel. Just book that hotel. Do that.
Book that
Come
hotel.
on in town.
We have discount rates for those who want to book.
See?
And then if you don't feel like traveling in, we have virtual tickets to the conference.
Ooh.
So you can.
This has become a new thing. I'm a small business owner too, and this has become a new thing. People are allowing you to attend their events virtually. This is awesome, but I kind of like the in-person,
Me too. I love the in-person.
Stuff like that, but it has become very popular, and those people who couldn't normally see your event, witness your event, be a participant in your event, can do that from the comforts of their own home.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about that. Why did you decide to do that?
I decided to do that because people follow me globally, and our ministry is global. And so I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to partake in the conference. Again, it's going to be some amazing information. It's going to be some breakthroughs that are going to take place and happen. And so we wanted everybody to be able to participate. Maybe you don't have the money to travel right now, and that's okay, but you can pay your fee and join us virtually and experience the entire conference from the comfort of your home.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Step up into the next piece of the future. Okay?
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want this to move on with your life? She is giving you all the pieces to the puzzle. This is 95.3 Jamz, Houston's home for Jamz, so we definitely got to play a little bit of music. I'm going to let her rest her voice box for 2 seconds, and we're going to come right back. And remember, if you have any question that you want to ask us, give us a call right here at 95.3 Jamz right now. And we'll put you on the line right here with Pastor Tammy Durden. And we'll be right back.